This conference, Future Weather, Future Farming, is all about the relationship between weather and farming. And, you know, it doesn't take a genius to know that there's a very close relationship between weather and agriculture. And the impetus for having this conference at this time was, I suppose, some of the big weather events we've had over the last couple of years. We're all familiar with the two big freeze-ups we had in recent winters, and I suppose most particular the really serious fodder crisis that we had this spring, which was a combination of a real wet summer and autumn in 2012, followed by a real cold late spring in 2013. And I think that brought home to us and to everyone in the agriculture community the real importance of weather in agriculture. So what we were trying to find out today in this conference was, well, is the weather changing? Are we going to face events like we've just seen in the last couple of years more frequently for the future? And if we are, or even whether they're going to be more frequent or not, we're still going to have to face them. So if we are, what is the cost of events like that to agriculture? And how can agriculture build its systems or modify its systems so that they're more resilient to shocks like that? Today we put figures on the cost of last winter's fodder crisis based on the Teagasc National Farm Survey. So we have data now for 2012 and 2013, and the extra feed cost is somewhere around 400 million euros on the system. There's additional costs that we were able to quantify in terms of extra animal deaths and loss in milk production that's probably somewhere brings that cost up towards 500 million. There are other costs as well that are much harder to quantify, like the loss in productivity of animals and so on, and extra inputs of fertiliser and veterinary bills and so on. It's very hard to quantify those. But what we do know is that the cost of last winter's fodder crisis was somewhere around 500 million plus. So that's a huge cost. That's one, I think, a highlight that came out from today's conference. So the other highlight for me is the opportunity that's going to exist within the next few years to bring the same level of precision into grassland agriculture that we see in more intensive feedlot systems, where farmers are able to control the diet very precisely because they're weighing in different ingredients into their animals. It's much more difficult to get that level of precision on farming, and to date it has required the farmer to do a lot of work in terms of going out and measuring grass growth in each field. And then of course you have the added variation on a grass system of the weather and what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks in terms of temperature, rainfall and so on. So I think now we're at the stage where we actually can get all that information together. Met Éireann are able to give us localised weather forecast down to something like a 1 or 2 kilometre grid. So you're almost down to farm level at this stage. So if we can combine that with what we in Teagasc know about grass growth, and we have pretty good models and we're building better models as to how grass is going to grow over the next few weeks. So if we can combine Met Éireann's data with our models, and we can also bring in the new data we have now from the new soil map of Ireland, we should be able within a relatively short time to get a very good tactical decision-making system for farmers as to what their grass growth is going to be for the next couple of weeks. Should they take out extra paddocks for silage? Do they need to start thinking about supplementation? And to cap all that, we are developing techniques that will allow us to measure what's actually happening in grass growth through remote sensing or through satellite observation. So farmers may not have to go out and do all the walking around their farms that they currently have to do in order to get a picture of what's happening in their fields. So I think now we're at the stage where by bringing together the agronomic side or the pasture-based Ireland database we have of grass growth, by bringing that together with the soil map of Ireland, the weather forecasting from Met Éireann, the computing power from iCheck, we're going to have the ability in a very short time to provide very good short-term forecasts of grass growth on individual farmers that will allow them to make decisions how they manage their pastures better than they currently can. Do they take out extra paddocks? Do they start bringing in supplementation? And so on. So I think the key message for people going home today is, look, we are going to continue to face difficult weather. We may be facing that more frequently in the future, but that there is opportunities to manage our systems better. There are new tools and technologies coming along that will help us to manage our way through these type of crises better in the future.